Not a year from now, not when the rapture sounds, not when we die. Jesus is the answer right now in this sanctuary today. Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
And here's something that's interesting. Jesus saw him. He saw him. He looked at him. Everybody else saw past him. Everybody else saw his stunted physical growth. They saw his retarded growth. They saw a man that didn't look like what them and that day would consider even human. He was crippled. He was lame. Let's just take him out of the car, throw him by the pool, and we'll go get him tomorrow. Not the car, I guess the horse and buggy. I think people still do that. Go down to Chambersburg, they still got to do. Some of them still do that today. I won't even touch that, Dave. Everybody will look at that man as a man, TJ, that would be stuck like that his whole life. An outcast. Watch this. Be careful how we deal with people. Somebody that we just have to deal with. Someone that takes up too much of our time, our energy. But one day Jesus didn't see somebody who was lame and impotent. Jesus saw a human that could be more than he ever was. He saw watch this, a creation of God who needed a recreation to make him whole. Can I say that one more time? Jesus saw a creation of God that needed to be recreated to make him whole. And God got a hold of that when I was thinking about Jesus, and I read that, and he said he saw them. Sometimes we get sick. I got to admit, I do. You see alcoholics and you see drug addicts, and you say, how can they be like that? How can they be acting like that? They drink their life away. They smoke their life away. They shoot their life away. And sometimes, I'm not being real now, sometimes we just put our hand and say, just put them in jail. We don't even want to deal with them. But Jesus Christ came to deal with them. Every drug addict, hear my heart, new life. If we're going to be the church that God wants us to be, we got to hear this message. Every drug addict is the creation of God that needs to be recreated. Every alcoholic is the creation of God that needs to be recreated. Every pervert is a creation of God. I know you're not going to like this. That needs to be recreated. Every person that is lost in sin is the creation of God that needs to be recreated. I know this is a hard word, but every Muslim is a creation of God that needs to be recreated. I dare you to give God a praise. Every woman, I feel like preaching now. Every one of these people are people that need just somebody to not look past them, but to see them for who they are, a living creation of God that with the help of Jesus can get back up again. Somebody shout, get up! Pool program, books, beyond a person. Unfortunately, even in some of our society today, there are still people that we look beyond. Watch this. Not because we're bad people, because of my beginning. Man's programs at his best will have prejudices. It's just the way it is. It's reality. And the only way to combat that is to get so in love with Jesus, as Jonathan sung one time, that we see through his eyes. And not our eyes. That we see through his heart and not our heart. When somebody has been messed up a long time, they don't need another thought of man. I remember one time when we were trying to help, and this is almost laughable. You ever want to see something laughable? This is almost laughable. It is laughable. I remember one time when we had our When I first got started here in Chambersburg, and we had a recovery class. And we were getting people from the people that just got out of rehab, some that just got out of jail. Now we transitioned that, and we're actually in the prison now working where our ministry is, and we're out there where they were. We made some advertisements. We got with Franklin County Probation, and we brought them into our church. And it was laughable when I would set these first group meeting. We might have had 7. I would say, tell me about your conditions. And we had alcoholics and people that had been on DUIs for 5 times, been in jail for years. That's not the laughable part. The laughable part is that over and over and over again, these people would tell me that they went to these programs. I'm not even going to bash the man-made programs, because some of them was better than what they were getting in the church-made programs. I'm just being real. They would go to these programs that would say, if you just think hard enough to be a better person. Can you imagine this? Somebody that is messed up, strung out, physically addicted to something, and somebody would tell them, just try a little harder. These people were trying as hard as they could. And so we had a new, different approach. I said, listen, I want you to keep going to your other programs, and those step programs actually can work if within cooperation with this other program. I said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you something that you might not have heard before, but there is no way that by yourself you will ever be able to be totally. I said, but here's the deal with all man. And then I said, but here's the good news. The worldly programs will tell you that once you get a hold of it, that you will always be an addict. I said, the good news, I said, the bad news is you will never on your own power be able to beat this habit. But the good news is, once you get a hold of Jesus Christ, you don't have to be an addict the rest of your life. Once you get a hold of Jesus Christ, any man that's in Christ is a new creation. Old things are passed away, and all things are become new. I said, the bad news for you is you can't do it on your own. The good news is that Jesus Christ is your helper. He can walk you through it, and when He sets you free, you can be free. Yes, free indeed. And their faces lit up with hope. I'm not saying every person that we taught bought into the program. Some would have left and never came back after the first session because the word we used was surrender. Instead of surrendering to the drug and the habit and the form, surrender to Christ. And Jesus looked at this man.